Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the season five finale of Snuffed. I am joined today, first and foremost, by my. Why can't I talk already? I am joined today by my lovely co host, Jason. Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Hey, bitches.
I haven't.
I'm doing
Like,
good. How are you?
I am so good. I feel like we haven't talked about the season in a month. And I'm
I
pretty sure
mean,
it has probably been a month.
I feel like there was reasons for why this was delayed. And
Oh,
yes, part of it was because of other obligations, but
correct. It was
is
partially
there
our
much to
schedule,
talk about? I guess we'll find
partially
out.
the season. But we're also joined today by a very extra special guest. He was the fifth placer on the Amazon. Yeah, fifth placer on the Amazon, as well as now a member of production. Hey, Jose.
Hey, oh my God, I'm back, you guys.
Oh my God. And this is your first time being on as a production member, so you have more information.
Right, I get to see the behind the scenes.
How are you
Jose,
enjoying?
you have been such a great addition to the production team.
Oh,
Those
thank you so
question
much.
mastering, very
No,
nice. Well done. Then you've
Well,
stepped
let's give me
in
a run for
when
my
we
money,
all are
but
messing up, so appreciate that.
no, period. Jose said, let me host a tribal council. And then he goes, wait, hold on, what's going on?
No, literally.
It was so good. All right, are we ready to talk about the Samoan Islands?
Yes.
So last where we left off, it's been some time. So I think we recorded last on the day of the swap. So we have not discussed the good portion of the season. So when we got to the swap, we saw Palufi dissolve and it'd be Lolofi and Tasami at the swap era of things. So we saw kind of the dynamic shift when we saw these new tribes form. Tasami was clearly the stronger tribe between the two, only touching tribal once during the swap era. Lolofi, however, struggled a bit, with Caleb and Luke ultimately being voted out. So, Jose, were you surprised by just how quickly the OG Palufi members were kind of picked off once the swap hit?
I mean, not really, because when you look at it, like everyone else kind of like strongly had somebody that they like, or like somebody or like a group of people that they clung to from their original tribes. And so whenever it kind of came to it, the people on the OG Palufi, whenever they were merged, at least the ones who went out at that point, were not that good at like setting up a foundation for themselves to stay.
Right.
And like if you look at the chess rankings, Caleb was like dead last at the start of Lalufi's swap.
Mhm.
So if they were going to tribal, it's not a surprise that he would have went home.
Right.
And then for Luke though, he did it to himself. But when it comes to that part of it, I think it makes the other members of the tribe kind of look like they are being more flexible with their votes.
Well, because I think the biggest thing is if I'm like one of the low future Tasami members on that tribe, and I see people that are clearly on the bottom, like they were toast, they were sunk. If
Right.
I was in a position, why would you not try to like scoop up that person as a number instead of just being like, oh yeah, that's an easy vote? Like it just seemed a little too easy to go that route of just picking off the excess people that were on that tribe. I don't know. I think it would have made for a more interesting swap had they gone.
But it was already a 4-2-1, right? So it was like it
Yeah,
wasn't an even split. So
Right.
Iman just needed to know, or Amon needed to know that they were just at the bottom. Like,
yeah,
they didn't realize that they were not with that trio at all. And if Amon knew that, I think we would have had a more entertaining swap. But like Dylan and July did such a good job of keeping everybody in line, right?
Right. And like
And
I feel
Dylan
like
also had those previous relationships with his OG tribe too, right? So
yeah.
uh-huh. I mean, Amon was asleep during that time.
yeah,
She woke up a bit later, and I live for her. I live for her.
Love you, man.
But
but
in
you're
that
right.
timeline,
Caleb could have been used as a vote at some point, but Caleb also needed to be like out there and pitching their game, and they also were.
mhm,
And I also feel like there was like this like like tenseness in the air between like the OG Lolofi and OG Tasami. Like they just kind of like people were like playing both sides and they didn't want to like start that tribe against tribe war just yet. And so
Mhm.
when you have like the Palupi members that are kind of like falling off the radar, it's like, okay, that's the easy one. Let's go ahead and get that. But you know, Nick, you made a great point because you could literally like if you're not in the most favorable position, the best thing you can do is grab somebody who's on the bottom.
Well, it's like at least try to shake the boat, do something. Like
Right.
Caleb ultimately was in danger of being the first boot of this season, suddenly woke up and crawled out of his ass in the 11th hour, saved himself, and then just flatlined the rest of the time he was there. It's like, and no shade to Caleb, but I'm like, Caleb, you should have promised that first episode. And then beyond that point, it was just like, no.
But that was also like AJ
Yeah.
overplaying in episode 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we had Chili that was overplaying. We had AJ who overplayed. Like everyone who was going out early in some fashion was overplaying. Like Julian did too. Claire, like the first 4 days were people that were overplaying, and then Caleb and Sabrina went back to back, and it was just like, okay, that tracks. But I mean, it was concerning. But I want to talk about Sabrina for a second because ultimately, or sorry, first before we get to that, if you're in Lolofli or Kasami's position and you're, waiting off the impending Cold War, Jason, do you take the easy route and go with the consensus of taking out the stragglers, or do you see value in them and trying to pull them in as members?
I mean, it depends on who you are in that position. Like looking
Right.
if I was in Dylan's shoes and July's, like, you have people on both sides of this. So when you hit merge, you don't want the stragglers because that's who
Mm,
the underdogs or the people you're not as close with are
Mhm.
going to pick up. So yeah, I agree. You want to take those people out. But if you are the Amons of the game and you have that perception of, okay, maybe I'm not as close with these other 3,
Right.
you got to make your move now, or else you're just going to find yourself as easy pickoff come merge.
Mhm.
But I feel like Dylan, July, Pete played the most optimally in that position. And if I was
mhm.
in those shoes, I would do that because you want to win and get to the end. You don't want, like, yes, you want entertainment, but at the cost of your own game. I think we saw
Right.
that from Claire.
Yeah. Claire was a diva. Truly, it
Yeah.
fell too
Like,
soon.
love Claire. Yeah. I'm sad that they went so early, but that also got them sent off before swap.
Jose, we saw Sabrina go next. Were you disappointed to see Sabrina go home? What were your thoughts on Sabrina this season as a whole?
Ugh, I always hate to see a woman go home, Nick. I
True,
really
truly.
do. But in that situation, kind of like what like Nick was saying, but even though none of the people he was talking about are on this tribe, I feel
Mhm.
like for me, I hate to say I might have ended up doing the same thing because for me, whenever I vote, it's based on who I trust and who can benefit me moving forward. And from what I had seen from Sabrina, she wasn't like somebody that was like pushing pushing the envelope, so to say, or like had like influence or like a pull or like anything that could have like would help me further like my game. And that's what I need from an ally for me to give them any sort of benefit as well. So I probably would have voted her as well.
Yeah, I think Sabrina ultimately, like, she gave nothing confessionals. Like, Sabrina, if you're
Yeah.
listening to this, no shade diva, you just didn't give content. But it seemed like she was in conversations, like, especially in her boot episode. I just fear that she tried to initiate that too soon. Or
Right.
not too soon, sorry,
Or
too
too
late.
late. Yeah. Because like
Yeah,
Jason Carmelo was saying, like, oh, finally Sabrina's giving me content and I love her. But then like it was also 2 days before tribal council.
right.
And
So,
Jason wasn't going to take that risk.
so
Like the
he's
writing
like,
was on the wall.
hmm. It was very much so just like, well, shit. But once we got to the merge, we kind of saw the Cold War continue for a bit longer between OG Lolofli, Lolofli, Lolofi, and Tasami.
Lol.
I,
Lofi.
I'm fighting for my life. So the first merge boot was Benji. Were you surprised to see Benji go when he did, Jason? Did you feel like he could have made a deeper run had the cards felt differently for him, or no?
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see Benji go. Benji was, I think, my top 2 and
Mhm.
was giving us so much great content. So I was like really sad to see Benji be the first boot of merge.
Mhm.
But I think like this is where Dylan, July, and Pete really took a stranglehold on this game. Uh, if from the like viewers' perspective, and the players might not know this, or they probably have if they read all the travel or all the confessionals now, but
Mhm.
like all the advantages were found pretty much this episode. The first search, the bot was like
Yeah.
the nicest ever. And both idols were found, extra votes were found, and the shittiest part about it, it ended with the three people that already had all the advantages and they were working together, and that's July, Pete, Dylan. And they kind of just like knew they were already close with each other from the swap, and they just played it. They just pooled all of their things together and got what they wanted out of this game. And
Literally.
it started, unfortunately, with Benji being the first victim, and it was a smart move for them. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I think Benji definitely was the one kind of leading the charge in the opposition of them, aside from Jason Carmelo. But I think the other thing too is that Benji definitely felt a certain kind of way about the island chest, presenting extra votes to certain players, obviously on a certain tribe, and felt that that was a bit unfair. Now, Jason, you and I have talked about this a bit,
Yeah.
like privately, but I want to kind of bring Jose into this conversation as well too, for all three of us to talk about it. Where I want to know, kind of, do you guys agree with or not Jose? Do you guys agree with
Always,
Benji?
always agree with Jose.
Me too.
Right.
Do you guys agree with Benji in terms of feeling like there was a bit of a kind of miscalculation in terms of how the island chess was executed, or do you feel like it was kind of more so like Gabe, where you needed to play the hand that you were dealt and kind of adapt based on that? So I'll start with Jose on this question, but I want all three of us to talk about it.
Right. So for me personally, like if I was a player, yeah, I could definitely see the frustration. Just where like, you already get immunity and now on top of that, you get four extra votes. But I could also, see the point of view where if that's the Bible of the game, so to speak, that's kind of what the cards were always going to be dealing from the beginning. So it's kind of the hosting if you can navigate that.
Mhm.
Would it be hella frustrating? Yes, yes, I think so. But I would probably just kiss the ass of the people who have them, really, and try
Mhm.
to work around it. But I don't know. Yeah, I definitely see where he's coming from for sure.
I see where he's coming from too, but ultimately, like it is the game. And the thing
Right.
that I was not in the Bible was that Pete was going to end up with the shared extra vote, an extra vote, and then I don't know, he had three extra votes. Oh, he had the vote cash, which ended up with another one. Like that was not predicted that one person was going to find all that. Like ideally, everybody would have, like that would have been evenly distributed.
Like
Right.
luck plays such a
Odds.
big factor.
But that did.
Exactly.
It was such like I don't think like it was not in the Bible that was going to happen, but it is the game they get to play, and I do think that again this is going to be a giant love fest for Dylan and July and Pete. But like when they were presented these island chests, they really played it very very well, and like were very strategic on okay, we're gonna get the coins so we get immunity, and then these people will get the extra votes, and we'll know who has them. Like they just played it, and I know that wasn't Benji's chess, so like Benji wouldn't have been able to play that, but he had all the information of who had what.
And who would
Mhm.
have known that they would have stuck together as strongly as they did too? Because like they like especially like whenever there's like advantages floating around in the alliance, I feel like that's when people start to get jumpy.
Yeah.
It's true.
What are your thoughts, Nick?
I like. I kind of understand where Benji's coming from. I think for me, the island chess in theory is great. I I'm just curious to see like how it would have worked differently had there been more of like a, I guess, a better risk taking like element to it, like that there'd be like a greater risk than just like, oh yeah, like you open it and everyone gets a shot in the dark, or there are
Like
like
Sabrina's.
right, like it's one of those things where it's like I feel like
Hey, don't shoot the shot in the dark, so that came in handy and added
Right.
some
I'm not
drama to the
disagreeing
season
with
as
you.
well.
I'm just saying I wish it would have been a thing where it could have impacted everyone aside from just one tribe. Like obviously the advantages impacted the game later on, but I would have liked to have seen maybe something in terms of like one tribe doing something to another tribe. or maybe how they have in Survivor 50, which is a bad analogy, but the boomerang idol, like something like that impacts all tribes instead of just.
I mean, I think we could
immediately.
sit here and like debate how to improve it. Like they could have had shorter deadlines on them and all this
Yeah,
stuff, but like,
right.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is. It is. Like, there's nothing wrong with how it worked out. I understand the frustration of like, well, they have all these extra votes. I think that Patrick and Oscar needed to use that shared vote that round? God, no. They should have.
Right.
They should have.
They were
of
played.
these
They were played like
advantages.
spittles to get rid of those advantages. And like
Yeah.
it's funny that the people that played them had all these advantages themselves, and then they
No,
knew
exactly.
that they had to get these other people to use theirs so that theirs would be more powerful down the line. And it was genius that they pitted Oscar and Benji against each other like that.
Right.
And then Pete didn't even have to vote.
I hate to see two divas fight. I mean, come on now. But like I said, I hate to see two divas fight.
Yeah.
It's tragic. But it is what it is. But ultimately, I think the bottom line is that it works fine. And ultimately, you really do have to play the hand that you're dealt. And if you don't, yeah, I got nothing for you. Like,
do I want to see the chess come back anytime soon? Absolutely not.
Right.
I will see that.
Amen to that.
But it is like every season has their own twists, and that just happened to be the one that they were dealt.
right. So it's like, it is what it is.
And I guess the one thing to teach future players, like maybe like immediately get your guesses in for the tribe
Right.
map, because it really is like we do this. Like they could find the stuff that like before you even get a chance to search, and it's crazy because I think I said this in Trusted Specs, but like the bot was not friendly in the Amazon. And the crazy thing about that is like when the bot is not friendly and like you don't find it when you use your broad sweep, people don't usually search that same area again. And then the advantages that are found never get played. So like the Amazon was so light in advantages because nobody researched areas. Where this one, the bot was just like, you get an idol, you get an idol. Everything was given away.
Look under your seat, and you will find a hidden immunity idol.
Okay, Ellen DeGeneres, period. No, it's like this season, advantages were flying off a tribe map like toilet paper was flying off the shelves during COVID. It was that serious this season. So, like, if you guys are not like online when that tribe map resets, you're doomed. Like, it's like you better hope and pray that everyone else is around you is missing, because if not, you're going to lose out on something that could really help you in the game. So,
like I never understood the people that like Jason Carmelo who will search 12 hours after. I'm like, bro, tribal council just happened and that hasn't even open, but like, why are you searching now? Everything's gone, girl.
So he was like, I am not going to be around this weekend, so those are going to have to deal with it. And I'm like, period. I have lived for that nonsense. Jason Carmelo could not be bothered to give it in because I am not sacrificing my personal life or social life for this game right now. And I'm like, I respect it. Set that boundary. But after Benji left, immediately after, Oscar went right out. So Oscar kind of started out this game being in a promising positive spot with a lot of social capital, but his game quickly unraveled. Were you guys sad to see Oscar go? And where do you think that things started to fall off for him? And Jason, I'll start with you on this one.
I mean, yes, I was sad to see Oscar go for sure. He was very entertaining, but like he just didn't have the grasp on the game at the end of the day. Like didn't read the writing on the wall, but like that's where like the power trio just kept everything so secretive because they literally got the two people they wanted out to go against each other in the first round. And then the next round we're just like, oh, the other one can go. And like everybody was so confused by this. Like there was no rhyme or reason. And how everybody just like got in line and just did it, I'll never understand. Like I'll never understand how it was a unanimous vote against Oscar after it was a battle the tribal before.
It was like, I think that once they pitted Oscar and Benji against each other, Oscar kind of was bit into the bait a little too much. Like, not only did he play into voting out someone that could have helped his game, he also wasted the one advantage that he had. So it was really an 0 for 2 that round for Oscar. And then immediately after, there was a trend of people taking the path of least resistance in the early merge, especially. And Oscar very clearly was that person. Like he had a bullseye on his back, and no one was going to push back against him going home. So he became the easy vote. Like, did I enjoy Oscar for what he gave? Absolutely. But I think again, it was just happenstance of he was in a bad position already, and people were just not willing to rock the boat at that point, unfortunately.
But it's still crazy. Like they had no more advantages. Like you didn't have to worry about them going forward. Like,
they said, I cannot be bothered right now. And I live for that. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Jose, what was your take on that?
I loved Oscar. I loved like his little video confessionals with like little tag in the corner. I thought that was so cute. But like same thing kind of with Benji a little bit. Like Dylan's mist on the game was like so strong. Like if you win against him, it was like his like one track mind goal to get you out of the game. Like boom. And so like as soon as he kind of like felt like Oscar wasn't really with him, that was kind of really it for him, especially after everything that had just happened the round prior. So it was kind of like something you could see from far away, but I think a unanimous vote, while crazy as it is like a really great testament to how strong that trio was working this game.
Right. I mean,
also this cast, they just did touchy subjects before he was eliminated, and they were rude.
Like rude. Oh my God. I was like, no
like,
way.
Oscar smells. Oscar.
Like island smell.
Oscar's gonna go next.
No, I'm pretty sure someone said like I thought he smelled because he was from the Dominican Republic, and I was like, excuse me?
What?
Like, what do you mean?
I was like, well, no, because it was like, yeah, they claim because he's on the island, he smells like he's on an island. But like, yeah, like this cast was diabolical.
Oh,
and
we're like,
Oscar didn't even see the writing on the wall when it's like, who's next? Oscar, and they're like, okay,
right. Everybody's voting for
the majority said, who's the next to go? The majority said, who are we blocking postseason? And Oscar goes, I'm in a great spot right now. I'm eating this up. It's like, girl, what do you mean? Like, I love, like, no shade to Oscar, but there was a bit of drag delusion there at the end, I'm afraid. I'm so sorry about it. Okay. And then we saw the path of least resistance continue with Mark, the remaining original Palufi member, getting voted out next. Now, we're at the final 9, and there is no Palufi left after this vote. Did that stretch of gameplay feel immensely boring to you as a viewer? Or do you think it was simply the most logical and necessary move for the majority alliance? Jason, what is your thought on that?
Yes and yes. Like,
yes
it was
and yes.
Boring as hell. And it was the most optimal move. Like I can't knock the smart move, but we sit there in T-Specs and production being like praying that the underdogs can somehow figure this out. And I think that was the most shocking thing this season was just like, how are these people not seeing it? Dalen has been burnt by Dylan a couple of times already. It's in confessional. And I know T-Specs couldn't see Dalen's confessionals, but we're seeing it. And it's like, oh, why is this guy being like lying to me all the time? Like I have nobody, and then doesn't do anything but continue to listen to Dalen. Like Dalen's mist was insane, and none of these people were seeing it.
Even when it was called out to them.
Like Patrick was even saying a lot of the right stuff in confessionals, and like had a pretty good idea of what was going on. But like everybody wanted to make a move, but not yet.
No, like that was the most annoying shit. It was like 8 rounds of these bitches being like, oh yeah, Dylan has to go. Dylan has to go. Then why are we voting out fucking Mark? What is Mark going to do? Mark is out here teaching music to kids, being a dad. What the fuck is Mark going to do with all of his allies? Respectfully.
And like, I know Pete didn't have a vote because he kept having to cash the vote because of the burning idol. But like, why are you wasting it this round?
Right.
Like, did you actually think Dylan was going?
It was just a very, yeah. Like, also, why?
Because this was the tribal council this the one that Amon, actually, this was my favorite tribal council because Amon, like, finally clocked that T. Like, yes. It was like, what was it, 30 minutes before tribal council votes were due, clocked it, was getting everybody to go on Dylan. That's why Pete played the idol, which was smart of him, now that I think about it. But, like, even Amon clocked it and is telling everybody exactly what's happening, and Dylan still somehow turns it around and is not even a target for the next tribal council.
No, meanwhile, Sleeping Beauty is sitting there. Like, Sleeping Beauty woke up that round and chose violence. She said, I'm going to cause chaos just for the sake of causing chaos. I live.
I'm gonna flip the vote.
But like, was A very close and like was 100% accurate in everything that they were saying.
Like literally.
Like, I'm on for All Stars, please and thank you.
And like, I guess when you think about how that tribal council went down, like, no offense to Mark, but losing Mark was like not the worst case because like you wanted Amon to still be there because
Right.
like they were reading the game correctly, but wanted them to stay. And I think was it Mark who was like, I just got voted out and I'm teaching music class to a bunch of like third graders. Like that sounds like my nightmare.
I love Mark though. I played with Mark a few times, and Mark is a good player. I just genuinely think that because of the tribe that he was on, he just did not have good footing ever in this game. He really didn't, and I hate it for him. But it is what it is, and that's sometimes the hands that we get out in the game. But it was painful to watch Mark suffer this season. It really was, because every time Mark was like, "Oh my god, it's gonna work, it's gonna work," it was like fucking Lucy with the football and Charlie Brown missing and getting falling. That was Mark this whole season. Like, love him down, but it was such a struggle. But the very next vote after Mark went home, we saw the people try to band together to make a move against July, but she idled herself. And in the process, we lost Amon. Now, Jose, Amon was somebody who had a relatively quiet start to the season, if you will, but quickly became a force once the merge hit. How would you assess Amon's overall game?
Amon, I like how she like kind of did what she kind of needed to do to get ahead. Like she just kind of laid low, kind of, hung out with the trio that was in power at the time. But then like what frustrated me so much about the Mark round, it was like one of my favorite tribal councils, mind you. But what frustrated me so much is I feel like that was like Dylan's biggest misstep in my opinion,
Mhm.
because you had Iman, ready to just cozy for the ride the whole time. And then the second like he started like pushing the envelope a little too hard, like strong arming, it like kind of made her like, oh, I don't like this. And she's like, I'm gonna flip this vote. She's like, I don't like how he's trying to do this, and just woke up completely, like became a superstar Prestige in literally 20 minutes. That was like one of my favorite spectator moments in Prestige, probably just because of how hectic everybody became. Um, and honestly, I love Iman. Like, I feel like if she had started, not like started with that energy, but like gave us some more of like that, I know what's going on around me vibe, she could have actually kind of maneuvered things like her own way. I would love to see her back. I'd love to play with her.
Absolutely. Ooh, T. Jason, thoughts on Amon as a former winner?
Sorry, what's that? As a
Thoughts on
former
Amon as a former winner?
That's okay. I think, yeah, I loved watching him on. Like, definitely a little sleepy, didn't really catch on until it was too late. But the thing that annoyed me, I guess, was like that last episode or her last episode was clock that T on Dylan and then was like, okay, I'm going to work with Dylan. Like, no, I know you tried to get out July, but
It's like,
I don't know.
Diva,
I
you're
just
so
couldn't
close.
understand what their end game was. And like, I was here for the drama, so I am here for Amon to come back.
She
But
said, I think I went crazy.
yeah, well, be crazy, but like continue it. We
Right.
wanted to
Continue.
see it come all the way through. Like, I feel like Amon went too soon, but made sense again for Dylan, July, and Pete to get rid of Amon because that was the one that, if Amon got enough traction, was going to make them pay.
Right.
That tribal council, though, like July played their idol,
Mhm.
which did that come out at Final Tribal Council where like they knew that like this was kind of their strategy? Oh no, this is what happened. July
Oh,
had the merge idol. Dylan had the like I can't remember which tribal Lofi
OG
idol.
La Luffy. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
they
swapped it.
swapped it so then the merge idol wouldn't come back onto the map and play
So
the Lofi
genius.
idol, which is such a smart play. Like
Literally kept all the
Cats,
advantages in their court. Like that was
yeah, they knew
so peak.
everything. It was very smart, but it did come back a little bit. I saw in the jury a little bit of animosity to how they sounded like they were just wasting advantages, even though they knew all of the outcomes. Like they didn't really need to play that. Dylan didn't need to vote July. Like they could have made whatever they wanted to
Right.
happen, and that kind of backfired. Obviously, not enough to lose, but interesting how the jury was like not eating up that part of the speech as much as they
They,
thought they would.
they
What are
said,
your guys' thoughts on that play?
I just, ugh.
Like, if you were on the jury, how would you take that?
I honestly would just roll my eyes. Like, who cares? Like, oh no, you switched your. I don't think it was like a necessary move or an impressive move, which is why the jury was just kind of like, okay, like it wasn't the syrup that they thought. Like, they thought that it was gonna be like, oh, this is gonna be a gag, and they're all just like, okay, like they were not living for it, and I wasn't like, no shade, but I wasn't either. Like it was a choice. It was. I really enjoyed Dylan and July as a duo, but in that moment, I was just kind of like, I don't really think this is necessary to do. But that's just my take about it.
I mean, I think it's fine to do it. I think it was smart to do. It's just the way you have to be very careful, I think, when you're on the final tribal council on how you're talking to the jury.
Correct.
Right.
Like rubbing it in their face that you had all these advantages and then you just wasted something. Like it does kind of come across, it can come across a certain way.
Mm-hmm. I would have fucking keyed their car and talked to me like that.
What are your thoughts on that, Jose?
For me, I would have definitely been impressed by the fact that they, made an effort to keep advantages in their court by swapping out the things. I thought that was genius. But I can definitely see where the jury is coming from, especially in the approach of the final tribal council, where it's like, we pulled this big move on you guys when, well, like Nick said, in reality, it kind of didn't really need to happen because they also had, the votes in their corner and they didn't really need to pull that. But I guess it was a really good way to guarantee who they wanted to go home went home.
It was very much so the crowd went mild.
Yeah, the thing that's like I love that they changed the idol. I think the thing that was unnecessary was the okay, we're just gonna go with the flow in July and we already know that person's safe. Like it is a smart strategic move as well, but like yeah, like Jose said, you had the power to not have that happen. And like you kind of just played in their faces a little bit, which congrats, like great job. But like I can see how a juror might not love that you just played in their face and now you're stomping on them in front of everybody at Battle Club again.
No, yeah, that part I was just kind of like I think if you're going to do it, great, that's one thing. But like to go in front of the jury and be like, yeah, I did this. What about it? Like I would be fucking annoyed. I would vote out of spite, which is what several people did do. Like several people on that jury voted solely out of spite, and like I don't fault them for it, but also it's like Jesus Christ. But we then had probably one of the more intense tribal councils of the season when Jason Carmelo was targeted and publicly called out Dylan and his lackeys, quote unquote, for following Dylan's lead. Jason Carmelo responded by playing his shot in the dark, and the shot in the dark actually hit.
Yes.
So in that moment, Dylan and July decided we're going to vote for Joe just in case this hits. Do you think that voting for Joe was the necessary choice for Dylan and July, Jason?
Or I have thoughts.
Yes.
Yes, it was a smart move for them to do. Like, absolutely. Like, they played that again, Dylan and July, just chef's kiss, genius. But what the hell, Joe and Dalen? What the actual hell are you guys splitting your votes on July and Dylan when you could have gone 2-2? And like, what the? I don't understand. Like, if you voted for Dylan there, the extra vote wouldn't have carried over. You guys could have made your move and got Dylan out this vote. Like, what the actual hell?
They would have counterattacked the counterattack.
Yeah. Like, why did you just go 1-1? Like, don't split. I can't believe it. Because, like, Jason Carmelo is using the shot in the dark, no vote. Even if he was bluffing it and you guys went 3, like, why would you split your votes? Like, make sure you guys are voting as a group.
Unit, right?
Right.
Like that was so frustrating because that was such a good opportunity. Like obviously, if Jason Carmello's shot in the dark doesn't land, he goes home, and that is what it is. But like prepare for it working, and that's what July and Dylan did, and good for them.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure July didn't like change her vote at like the last second. For a second, I thought they weren't going to make the vote change.
It was like maybe 3 or 5 minutes before like both were actually due that she was like, all right, we're good.
Yeah, I was hosting that one, and I'm just like, oh my God, what's actually going to happen?
If I would have voted up on my ally, like accidentally not changing their voting time, I would have cussed them out after the season.
No, literally.
Like you,
and I don't think anybody was sleeping. They were all like pretty active ahead of it. So like, I don't understand.
I would have been like Maddie and Euphoria to cast you. You dumb fucking bitch.
Like that alone would have been like, I'm sorry, Dalen, you don't get my vote because that was dumb.
Yeah, it's a choice. The next round, we also saw Jason Carmelo get votes, but this time, unfortunately, we lost Jason Carmelo. However, it was not from a lack of trying and or a lack of publicly acknowledging Dylan's many victories as a player this season. What did you guys make of Jason Carmelo going out at Final Six? Were you sad to see him go, Jose? What were your thoughts on Jason Carmelo this season?
I was absolutely torn apart. Like I love Jason Carmelo so much. He's such like not like just he is who he is, and like that's just final line for him. I kind of love it so much. And when it came to the one tribal council, where they were all where they were gonna vote Joe and everything like that.
Mm.
When that shot in the dark played, like behind the scenes, you had Jason testing it out, right? And it
Oh my
said like
God.
land safe, and I was like, yes! And I was like, is that the one he's counting? He's like, that's just the test one, and I was like, oh my God, you jinxed it.
I thought I jinxed it too. I was so sad.
And then it actually played in real time. I was literally like, I think I was at work or something, and I was like, oh my God. But I love Jason Carmelo so much, and he truly made his stamp on this season. Like him and Amon, like are just the Dylan Enders, in my opinion. Like they really like came in there, and they were like just laying it out there. And I don't know. I love Jason Carmelo, and I was so sad to see him go. I think, especially during the merge, he began to become like more in the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I feel like he could have definitely made it all the way to the end if it wasn't for that.
I think that was like in a regular season where there's not all these advantages. I think that could have been beneficial for Jason Carmelo because usually when we do like our Toot and Boot episodes, we kind of like consider like, okay, if they're overly social or like almost too good, this is where they would go. But Jason Carmelo actually played I thought a better social game than I expected because like it kind of was slower. It wasn't in that like powerhouse position, and this was the perfect time to kind of come into it and just got himself up against Pete and 2 extra votes.
Diva fell, and we hated to see it. Oh, it was
so, like that one was a perfect. Would have been a perfect opportunity for Dalen and Patrick to make a move, but like the trio had 6 or 5 votes,
right,
and the last chance they could use them. And I think this is actually the episode too that Patrick kind of like 100% figured out what to do. And it was too late. Like if he had figured this out an episode ago, maybe don't vote Jason Carmelo and force the tie, right?
Right.
Jesus
Christ.
Like just like Patrick was there, but not quick enough.
Like Patrick was like, this is going to work. This is going to work.
And it's funny because Patrick's usually the person in these games like where he has all the advantages, and this is the one time he didn't, and he couldn't play against it.
Patrick was fighting for his life this season. That was quite funny. Like not funny. I love Patrick, but it was interesting to watch him be more vulnerable and having to kind of play more socially / win immunity a lot more than he usually would. But
right, he was outstanding in the challenges.
Like, okay, Astrid. No,
right, no, literally.
But no, it was a rough one for Patrick, unfortunately. But Diva never give up, not to the bitter end. But at Final 5, we saw people finally say, I think Dylan should go this round finally. They said, tonight's the night. And then ultimately, yet again, there was an idol played to save Dylan, resulting in Pete going home. What did you make of Pete's game overall, Jason?
Pete was really fun. Like I really liked the trio that worked together. Like they were entertaining to watch. However, like
Mhm.
one of them had to go. Like they were not all making it to the end, and it was either Pete or Dylan. And this is where again you kind of look at Dylan's miss. Like Dylan made Pete play all these advantages and do all these things throughout the early stages of merge that could have helped him later on. Like
Yes.
Dylan was really playing the long game, in my opinion,
Mhm.
and then got. And like this was a chance. Like Pete was actually making the move on Dylan, like strong. Like he was making a stronger move against Dylan than Dylan was even on doing it on Pete. Like he only made the move on Pete because of that, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So like but didn't have the advantages and knew he didn't have like didn't Pete know Dylan had the idol?
No, no, actually, he thought that the merge idol was the only one that had was like left and like
Yeah.
or something like
Oh,
that. He
so like
was like,
those two, Dylan and July, kept that a secret from Pat or from Pete.
yeah,
Yeah.
Genius, so good. Like it's unfortunate, but he obviously didn't see where he sat with those other two.
Yeah. Which, like, to that point, I'm sorry, but how are you in that trio and not thinking that you are the number three? I'm so
like,
sorry.
are you the third wheel?
Right, girl. You are the third in this throuple, okay? You're getting dumped at the bar too. Get a break.
Like, girl.
Give me a break.
But I found that Pete really wasn't playing as well with the others
Yeah.
that like
Um,
Dylan was. I think he obviously got the others to vote for Dylan here, but that's because he assumed he knew everything and Dylan didn't have the idol. But Dylan had the like relationship with Patrick and and kind of a relationship with Dalen, but like they were putting in all the work. Where I don't know if Pete really had as strong of ties based on the trust rankings as the other two did
Right.
with
I
the
don't
other
think
four.
that, but you win some, you lose some, and in this case, he lost one. But I love Pete.
What were your thoughts on Pete? Though?
I've played with him before in John Viver All Stars recently. He tried to take me out. I got his ass out instead. But anyway, point is, I love him.
Not like repeating itself.
Shut up.
Dylan got him. You got him.
right.
I didn't have to do an idol though to get him out. Just saying.
Oh,
But anyway, so I love Pete though. I really do think that he played well this season and kind of exceeded my expectations. Like he's a good player strategically. I just didn't think socially he was going to be as good as he was. But like you guys said, he did have some like kind of restrictions and blind spots towards the end, especially where I feel like his relationships with like Dalen and Patrick probably weren't as strong at that point anymore, to
Right.
where it was just kind of like, all right, well, it is what it is. But I still think that he played like a good game. I just think that he really needed to, especially with all those advantages that he had. I feel like he probably had some of the most agency this season and wasted it because he was
like
essentially just answering to what Papa Dylan wanted him to do.
yeah. A question for you both. Like, do you see any trio with Pete in it that he could have won this game?
Um,
Like, I don't
maybe
see it.
I honestly don't. I think he would have a shot if it was like a final two against Patrick. But aside from
Yeah,
that,
final two. Yeah.
but I think that Dalen still beats him in the final three of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like he didn't have the relationship with the jurors. And I think like, unfortunately, his game was so advantage heavy, which so
Mhm.
was Dylan and July's, but his was, I guess, more public.
Mhm.
And
Right.
the jury did not like that.
Which, I mean, it is what it is. Like everyone has their opinions and takes
Yeah.
about, what advantages kind of look like or how they're utilized. Because Dylan had a lot too, but I think Dylan
Yeah.
also had the social capital along with the advantages. So it was just a truly perfect storm for Dylan to really dominate and do some damage in this game, which it is what it is. But
Like they really should have like it did like I know hindsight is 2020, but like Pete, Patrick, all these people needed to make that move one before that. I like they didn't know he had an idol, but like if
mhm.
you really were going to take a stab against your own trio alliance, like should have done it earlier.
Exactly. But, I mean, they just had a little bit of hesitation and ended up biting them in the ass. But Jose, do you think July specifically made the right call voting out Pete there at Final Five?
I mean, knowing that Dylan was going to play the idol, like no matter what, because it's the final five and it's the last chance to do so. I
Mhm.
think, yeah, in that instance, yeah. But yeah, honestly, yeah, I think at that point it was already kind of too late for her to do anything else, at least in my opinion. What do you guys think?
Do you think there's a play where they? Oh wait, no, never mind. July was immune. I was like, is there any
Yeah,
play that July could have maybe convinced him to play it on her, but she was immune?
I think,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
I think if anything, it probably would have made more sense for them to vote out Dalen over Pete at Final Five because
I
Yeah,
just
Dalen,
don't.
jury threat.
I
yeah, the
agree, but
jury
I
could
don't think any of those final five thought Dalen actually had a chance at winning. Like
Yeah,
they did not
yeah.
have a clue. The jury was very team Dalen at the moment.
Hmm. Which is fair. Like, obviously, they don't know that information at the time.
Yeah,
So it's hard to obviously contextualize that at the time. And I'm like, looking at it from a viewer standpoint and just like, even like in that game, you have to have some semblance of like, a lot of people were trying to work with Dalen. Now, granted, Dalen wasn't doing anything actively to actually work with the minority in a positive and productive way, but he didn't burn them either. So
right.
I'm like, maybe to get the person that hasn't pissed anyone off, especially when the jury's actively like every time someone else comes in, fuck Dylan in July kind of thing. So I think it would have made more sense, but also I have the perspective of watching it. They don't. So like I don't fault them for that. I just think logically it would have been a smart choice to make, but it's what it is, not my problem. But additionally, we saw a Final Four, July voting Dalen this time instead of Dylan. Jason, why do you think July made that choice to like force fire and give Dylan a shot of making it to the end?
I mean, I get where July is coming from. Like I read the internal battle in her confessionals where it's like if I
hmm
vote out Dylan, then I'm a bitch because I betrayed my closest ally. But if I vote for Dalen, then I'm an idiot. Like no matter what, I feel like, and it
Right.
sucks. Like when you're a woman, like you just for some reason get this. No matter what you do, it's the bad move, which is
Right.
absolutely bullshit. So I understand where her debate was on here. I think she should have made the move against Dylan. I think that would have been stronger for the jury, but she ended up getting like the perfect outcome of
Mhm.
both of
hmm
her allies going out and making her the only one. Because I do think if Dylan's there with her, like Patrick was really smart at his confessional saying that I think my best chance actually is with Dylan here because Dylan in July could split the vote. And Patrick gives him like, does he win it? Probably not. It's probably a tie between the two of them, but it gives him a way better chance.
Exactly. Which
But like, I do it. Yeah, I think she should have voted for Dylan, but it made it way more entertaining for us.
it was entertaining. I enjoyed it. Would watch again. But ultimately, we saw Dylan. Or okay, so at that point, we saw Dylan fall. Now, Dylan was the fallen
Which
angel of the
I'm gonna
season.
say, I do love that fire making challenge.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, I
That was
literally
so
was so
dramatic,
tuned in. Like it was like,
and
and he would like get to like 20 and then boom, press his luck and it would be like pass. And I was like, oh my God, he might actually win this. And then he,
yeah,
oh,
it was very entertaining. So like, I love whoever came up with that fire making thing, but I can't. If you're ever in a final, people do not do this on your phone. Like get on a final walk. Like that is crazy. Dylan was so slow. Like
like,
No,
Dalen get to 100 just because he was going so slow.
half the people
right.
were like, "Oh yeah, well, let's work on my phone." Bitch, why are you doing this live finale on your phone?
That
Right.
was crazy
Like,
work. Like
girl,
it was stressing me out.
it was a disaster.
Like
But
you could tell like he would like have a misspelling because he would type it a little bit longer than he would type the last one. I would be
And
like,
also like copy paste,
no.
copy paste. Like you can still do that on your phone, people.
Right.
no, he was taking a sweet ass time. Like, absolutely not.
Still made it entertaining. I think like if it was more even, it would have been less entertaining. So I guess thank you for that,
Right.
Dylan. Entertaining to the very end.
Entertaining to the very end.
Literally.
Fallen angel, truly. But Why can't I talk right now? Jesus Christ. Do you guys anticipate Dylan popping up on a future season?
Oh,
Why
for
or why not?
sure.
what what season do you expect him to be on, Jose?
I'd say he'd like be like a shoe-in for All Stars, if anything. Like I think Dylan like played like well as we've been talking this entire episode, like the miss this season was absolutely crazy. Like whenever I watch Dylan play in org, because like I'm the one who recommended him, by the way.
Oh,
But
period.
Look at that.
anytime I've ever watched him play in org, like you think like, oh, this is the end for Dylan. This is the end for Dylan, and then it's not. And there were so many times that that had happened this season where like you look at the players and you're like, you're so dumb. Why did you let this happen? But then I'm seeing it org to org to org. So like, there's the common denominator, and I'm always gonna root for him. Like that, Dylan, yeah, all stars for sure, all the things.
Dylan had the like Henry, Max, Dell
Right.
missed factor that couldn't get to the end. So, I mean, I think a shoe in. I shouldn't say shoe in, but like definite contender if they applied for All Star season
Did you just
and a
say
second chance because they really did get screwed by losing out on the fire.
Right.
right? That's unfortunate for him, but ultimately. So, what do you guys make of the jury? Because the jury was very, not the overall, but there was a few people that were very pro Dalen on the jury. Do you think that that was warranted, Jason?
No,
I agree.
I'm so sorry.
I
But
love
like,
Dalen, but no,
I
Mama.
love Dalen too, and like the trusted specs who are listening to this, it's hard because they never got to read all the confessionals. But like Dalen and Patrick, love them both, but they never had a grasp on this game at
No.
all in that
Right.
mode. They were always on the outside. When they had the right vote, they were told where to vote. Like they, I am so sorry, but this was like July almost losing would have been crazy work
Like
by this jury.
catastrophic,
Like
catastrophic.
July, it was actually perfect because like Dylan and Pete going out in the finale, and like letting her be by herself there. Like
It was
July
like the
knew what
best for her.
everything was happening. Like I can't believe it was this close. It would have been crazy. It would have
It
been
would have been
fun.
honestly a huge gag if that was the case.
Like I understand where they're coming from, like their frustration with the twist, but that's not July's fault. Like at the end of
No.
the day, the July, the
Right.
Dale, and the Pete's, they played with what they found and like took advantage of the twist. Like that I think should be rewarded more than I'm not going to reward you because you had all these, and I'm going to reward somebody else because they were scrappy.
like no shade to Dalen either, but like there was no agency from the merge on. It's like, what are you rewarding right now? Because they didn't piss you off or backstab you as much?
Right.
Like
It literally came
sorry,
down to like besties.
right? But which happens obviously, and I don't
Yeah.
hold great for that at all. But I just think
Hey,
it
I
was
lost the
really
final tribal council because I wasn't somebody's brother, so I get it.
robbed, robbed yet again. But looking into the future, who from this season do you think deserves a second chance? Or not, that's not my question. Who do you think deserves an All Stars run the most? I will give
Okay.
you two names. You can give two names. I'll start with Jason.
Oh, okay. um, I mean Dylan, and oh, the second one is so tough. I'm gonna say Amon.
Okay. Jose.
I'm gonna say Dylan to be the same as Jason, as well as that was my pick I was always gonna pick. But my second pick, I'm gonna change it up because I was gonna pick him on, but my second pick is gonna be Jason Carmelo.
That was
See.
my third.
My picks would be Jason Carmelo, number one. And because Dylan's already been said so much, I'm going to go with, honestly, ooh, not to think again. I had a name, but I was like, you know what? No, I stand by it. I still stand by Benji. I still do.
Right.
I think
Yeah, I
that
can see Benji for sure.
Benji has
Yeah.
the personality for it, 100%. So I'm
And
sticking.
you know what? I'd also like to see, and I know we're only supposed to give two, but like I'd also like to see Dylan on a different cast.
Oh, absolutely,
Like
100%.
Dylan, I think was entertaining and has potential, but like the Dylan factor, maybe not putting somebody with such a close name on the same season.
But
Dylan
Less
needs to play
energy.
without Dylan.
You mean we can't have two Claires again?
I like how they also were Final Four. I'm like, are you serious? Like, we have to
Right.
deal with this entire season.
Can you imagine if the Final Four was Dylan, Dalen, Claire in
You know,
July?
the number of times I was like afraid I put the wrong person in an alliance because their name was so close.
You said far too much. Far, far.
Right.
And I don't blame you for it, but you know. Okay. Who do you think is more fitting for a second chance type? Jose or you? I started to say
Um,
Jason and I said Jose.
I was gonna be like, what? Who's Jose?
Right.
From Big Brother 18. Hello.
For me, I would love to see Luke, Claire, only two, right? If so,
Yeah.
Luke and Claire. Yeah, Luke and
Luke
Claire.
had a full manifesto the entire season.
Even
It was-
after elimination.
No, literally. Luke was like in the padded jacket talking the whole time, and I lived for it. Jason, who would you bring back?
Oh, for second chances?
Mhm.
Claire for sure. Like, Claire was stuck on like the shitty tribe. And I'm gonna say Benji for second chance.
Okay.
And
Team. I'm going to say Sabrina. No, I was kidding. I love Sabrina. No shade.
Oh wow,
Oh,
say that Sabrina for
wow.
no
Right.
reason.
No, I love
What?
Sabrina.
That's
Sabrina was so iconic. No, I'm going to say AJ for one. And
Okay.
I'm also going to say Mark.
Work.
Word.
Jose said, I do not agree, but okay.
We're like, okay, you do
Okay,
you,
now-
sister.
We did get a few viewer questions. So first of all, we have from Joe. We have a question from Joe from this season. Joe says, outside of July, Dylan's number one. And it felt like Dylan's number two fluctuates repeatedly. Who are his actual allies according to viewers? Jose, what is your take on this?
The question was, who are his actual allies in the
Who
game?
was his actual like number two
Ooh, I'd say
in
Pete.
your eyes? Do you say who?
Pete.
Oh, period. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. I think Pete was probably the most consistent number two for Dylan. I know Dalen obviously was for a while, especially in the pre-merge era, but once the merge hit, it went downhill from there, Diva. But you know, I mean, I think that was definitely the case, but it was definitely hard to discern, especially as a player when the confessionals were not up as long this season after. So it was just like if you didn't read it right away, you were kind of doomed from the start. But
I feel like Dylan, yeah, I would say Pete was definitely Dylan's number two, but I do think it really depended on what advantages the other person brought to the table. Like Dylan really fell out of favor. It felt like when he just didn't have anything to like win this game, or didn't come to the table even like to the merge with more allies that aligned with Dylan.
mhm.
But like, yeah, he really saw the advantages and was like, "This is my trio," and it can't hate the player.
Oh my God. And Dalen was Dylan's number two for most of the pre-merge, but it's so funny if you were watching the moment that like the whole dynamic shifted, like the perfect little perfect plastic cover like came down, and it was literally because they were like trying to like make one tribe throw the challenge, and then once they were like, I don't think I want to do that, Dylan like deleted all like the times and stuff that he gave, and Dylan was like, that's strange. And literally that's where it all started. It was so funny to watch.
They really beat
But I
the
still feel like Dalen gave him too much grace still. Like he's like, that's strange and this is weird and I'm gonna fuck this. But then
Right.
would always be like, it's okay, it's Dylan. We talked for hours and all of a sudden we're besties.
Well, they said, I forgive you. You're forgiven. It was crazy work. I was like, really? Y'all aren't going to beef more about this? I would. Shit. I'd get petty bitch.
But if Joe is, I don't know if Joe is like, did Joe ever think that they would be like close allies with Dylan? Because I don't think Joe was ever close to like top two.
I don't think so either, honestly.
Yeah, no, me neither.
You so, me neither. But no, honestly, it's true. Sorry, Joe, if that was what you're hoping for, but I don't think that was the case, unfortunately. But maybe Dylan can come on the podcast eventually and share all about it. Who's to say?
Well, I guess actually, I'm looking at trust rankings. He did have Joe as number two,
Oh,
on episode 11. So
See how
I
I'm
guess for
wrong?
like a second.
Yeah.
But also,
But
he did
like
like state
also
like
went
he would do
from
his trust rankings. Like he was like, "Oh, I'm like doing my trust rankings based on like a threat level." Like I remember like
yeah,
having
like
read
right
like a
now, episode six, oh, no, sorry, episode 10, Dylan had Joe as number six. The next episode, number two. So like Dylan didn't have a real number two.
right.
He had a number 2 in his mind, and that's what matters. My
And like
God.
that episode, Pete was down to five. Like, yeah, Dylan was all over the place. The only consistent was his number one.
My God. Okay. So next up, we have a question for Jose specifically
Period.
from Jacob. So
Okay.
Jacob says favorite gay
Which Jacob?
Jacob from Below the Bayou, Pepto Bismol Jacob.
That changes like how I view every question.
Right. So Jacob from Below the Bayou asks favorite gay / queer / F slur player / castaway thus far in Prestige history, and why other than yourself?
If you had just asked the question and I didn't ask that, I would have known who it was.
Here, let me think. Because there's been many a gay who have
Jose said, "Let me look up the wiki really quick." Hold
right,
on.
no, I am. Honestly, Tyrone. No, I'm kidding.
What is with all the shade?
Let me right, no, that might stray, my bad.
Nobody's
Honestly,
safe on this podcast.
I think it's pretty close for me. It's close between Reki and Jason Carmelo.
Okay, gee.
I think those are like they bring peak gay energy. Jason Carmelo just gives like I know who I am. You better figure out who you are so we can get this going.
Period.
I love them. I hurt gay people.
Why? No, I was kidding.
Wow.
Okay, Jason, favorite gays. Other
Oh,
than
this is
yourself.
also going to be thrown to me. Interesting.
I'm just throwing it to you as for fun.
Do not. I was going to say like the first person that came to mind was Jason Carmelo, but that also is like recency bias. So,
Mhm.
who else? Who else? Henry. Just kidding.
Yes, married father of 2 Henry.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, I mean, Jose has got to be top as well.
Period.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I would say those are my two faves.
See? Okay. We have a question from
What about you? You're just gonna avoid the question?
Right.
Oh, okay.
He hates gay people.
Wow, he really did double down on that.
You heard it here first, folks. Get me. If I had to pick a gay, I would. This is a hard question. I would say Kyle from the Shadowland. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, no, I want to throw an honorary mention for Benji.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
yes.
I love me some Benji. Benji's one of them. I love Adam from Normandy, who was formerly Paulette in Suitman's. Love Adam. I think Romney's gay, right? From Normandy. If Romney's not gay,
I assume everybody is.
yeah, I'm just assuming everyone's gay. And then from Below the Bayou, I'm just gonna go one per season. Jacob from the Below the Bayou, from the Amazon, Jose and Jacob always. And then from this recent season, yeah, Benji. And just
No mention of Patrice anywhere.
like the funniest thing is that Patrice is absolutely my type, but like, yeah, no. Patrice, I wish Patrice would have stuck around the server and maybe even came back for a second chance. Oh, also from Normandy, I love Rob. Love Rob too. But
Nick is really saying that he doesn't care about age. I see.
I am not agent. But anyway, then from Miller wants to know what was the craziest twist of the season. I don't really know if we had one, honestly.
I don't know.
I mean, Amon waking up at Final 9. I mean, what do you guys think the craziest
Yeah,
twist
the craziest twist was nobody clocking Dylan until it was too late.
Right.
That part, though, yeah. That part was rather crazy. But, I mean, aside from that, I don't really know.
I guess the island chess, because it like literally impacted the entire game.
Was the twist, yeah. And yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, it did.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
almost gave Dalen the win. They almost voted against July because of Lily's island chest.
And Lily would have had to live for that. I mean, live with
Yeah,
him.
really.
I guess, yeah. Okay. And then finally from Miles from Below the Bayou. Miles wants to know what was your favorite thing creating the Samoan Islands? Well, I didn't create it. So
Maybe we should have vet these questions.
well, I'm just looking at the questions. My God. I also, to be fair, I do look at the questions before. Thank you very much. But I mean, that's a question for Lily Miles. So ask Lily, and
Well,
we'll CC her on this email after the recording, and put your question there for her. But Lily was the season designer. We were not. My favorite thing about this season was the effort that I put into casting it, because I did cast many of people in this group. So I've been like hounding Jason.
so it's your fault.
Yes, correct. I was hounding Jason Carmelo and Benji to apply for literal years in this server. So I'm very happy with the result we got with them. I can't remember who else. Oh, I also got Mark, which Mark obviously could have been better this season, but I still love Mark regardless. Yeah, I mean, that's my happy part of creating it. I mean, I didn't do a lot of like creation, like I said, because Lily kind of had it down pat. So there wasn't much for me to do in terms of the creation process aside from casting in the wiki. But yeah. Jason, any thoughts on that?
My favorite was that Lily went really back to the basics and then gave everybody extra votes. She was like, let's do a back to basics season, but let's add a million twists.
Yeah, let's make this bare bones as possible, but let's add in a secret third thing. And then, Jose, how was your first season of being on production?
Oh my God, I literally love it so much. Like whenever I had to do my first thing of questions, I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna lock in, I'm gonna drink my little Red Bull and I'm gonna get to it. And so that was pretty much like it was like so nice to like be like, okay, I gotta go home from work and then work on my questions, get them all set. And that was so much fun. But then also like learning a little bit more, like, asking how to do alliances. I want to do map searches eventually. But learning how to do like hosting my own tribal council, a lot of it like felt getting getting to see the behind the scenes of it all after playing, of course,
Mhm.
was really like eye-opening and makes me see a lot more of what you guys do behind the scenes. It makes me appreciate you guys' job a lot more.
Oh, well, thank you. We're so happy to have you as part of the group now. It's so lovely having you. So, thank you for saying yes and joining us.
And we
Oh,
love people who put the effort, and you put a lot of effort
thank
into
you.
the
No,
questions and
absolutely. It's fantastic.
hosting, and you ask a lot of questions, and it's really appreciated from
Yeah.
our
We love people that
point of view.
actually try with that. So, period. Um, Final thoughts before we close today about the Samoan Islands as we look forward into Tibet as next season. Thoughts, feelings, Jason.
Oh, damn, not me first. Um, love the cast of the season, the Samoan Islands cast. I really loved everybody individually. Game wise, was it my favorite of the Prestige universe? No,
Yeah.
but like the trio that ran the game played the most optimal, so I can't knock them for that because I would have done the exact same thing. So they
Right.
played with the advantages that were given to them, and they just happened to have all of them. So good. But
Like,
no, it was a fun season, and I'm really looking forward to what we have in store for you next in Tibet and beyond.
yeah.
Dude.
Jose, final thoughts.
Um, Pretty much what Jason said, like this was an amazing cast. I don't think anyone really like stands out too much in like a bad way because even
Mhm.
when they had like their bad moments, they still had some good moments to make up for it. But yeah, this is not like a season I would look back to for gameplay necessarily as much as I would like moments. Like this is
But
like a moment season. Like I'm gonna think back to the moment where Iman tried to flip the vote within 20 minutes, where Jason Carmelo played the shot in the dark and it landed. The whole fire making challenge. Like I'm gonna think back to the moments rather than the actual gameplay that was going on.
I think that is a very good way of
Yeah.
playing it. Like I think like the cast itself was great. The gameplay was not. And that's okay. Like not every season is going to be filled to the brim with amazing gameplay and personalities. We did have amazing personalities though, so I'm not going to knock that portion.
Yeah.
Right.
But it just left me wanting some more, unfortunately. But
another good point that you made was that like everybody, like people left the game and they're having a good time. They're in the server, but like there's no negative takeaway from this season, and we've had some negatives in previous seasons. So I really appreciate just how great everybody was. Like, yes, the jury got a little upset with the twist, but never really became anything personal, and love that when we have a game like this because it's meant to be fun.
Exactly, but. For now, though, that is a wrap on season 5. So we will see you quite literally in May for season 6. So for now,
one last note before we go: July, like top one of our, well, I should say top tier winner, but we literally have had 5 seasons, and all 5 of our winners are just like god level winners. So welcome to the god level, and no pressure to everybody in Tibet.
Yeah, absolutely.
You better serve.
You better serve, but if not, I will ban you from the serve. No, I'm just kidding. But for now, thank you all for listening, and we'll see you in May. Bye.
Bye.